I hope everybody come back.
Man.
We sorry. That was that thing was actually brand new. Comments and reactions. Come
I hope
back.
everybody come back.
Man.
You gotta turn that off.
Yo. Let me go in here and add followers.
Hey, Devin, thank you for waiting for us. We are trying to get this thing together. We done got a new camera set up, and
Shayla back.
you know, it just don't love us the way our other camera did, but it looks good. So we trying to work with it.
Let's see. I keep hearing.
What happened?
I don't know this from this feed. I said Shayla said I keep hearing beatbox, and that might be from the last live.
Beatbox.
That had to be from the other.
Well, what was she talking about?
Huh?
I said, well, what was she talking about?
We're live right now, right?
Yeah. Hey, Chastity.
Welcome back.
Sorry, y'all. We had to I can't even make up no excuses for what was happening. I don't know.
What's Lauren's name? I need.
I don't know. You have to go to the other one. I don't even know if she was still in there, if I'm being honest with you.
She was. She had just made a
Thank
comment.
you. You're so affirmative, and I love that.
Who?
Devin. He said, y'all are doing a good job. A great job, actually. We need that. We need that positive reinforcement right now. Because it's feeling real ghetto. We had a first time viewer in, and we were trying to make a good impression on her, and it just was not going well. Oh, Devin said that is from the last live.
Okay. I don't do good with rejection.
Nobody's rejection. Thank you, Chastity.
Lauren will never be back. We tried.
Oh, stop. We did not. No, we didn't.
All right. Okay. Let us continue the conversation.
Try it again.
I don't even know how to like.
Nope. It didn't work.
The camera?
Yep, it cut off. It's on me. Oh, there we go. I don't know. This one may not make it to streaming platform.
Ever again. We will never use this.
No, we
camera.
just have to troubleshoot. We have to figure it out. We can't figure it out on the air next time. We gotta have time before to work with it. It will work.
We need that we can just turn on it and do what it do.
It will. We just have to work out the bugs. Okay?
All right. I don't even know how to. Where do we start now?
We just get on and tell them we back. You can put two audios together, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We're back, fresh off of technical difficulties. Returning with us, we have Chastity, we have Danielle, we have Jay, we have Shayla. The gang is back. Lynette's in here.
Jay.
Yeah. So we OGs aren't going anywhere. I appreciate that, Chastity. Golly. We were just discussing pet peeves.
Well, actually, we had crossed over into boundaries because we was talking about the food stuff.
We did cross over into your boundary.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough, did.
If you did not see the last episode, Brandy laid a firm boundary that I am not to touch any of her food. Boundaries come with good consequences. What do you think would be a good consequence from eating your food?
Well, first of all, can I clarify something? Because I don't mind sharing food with you. I really don't. What I would prefer is that you just ask me. And if I say no, then cool. You have to respect my no. Because I told you no not to eat my cheesecake and you still ate it. That's what made it bad for me.
Allegedly.
You go sit here, say you didn't eat it. Don't make me mad.
I
please.
am neither confirming or denying, but I have not admitted there is no solid proof.
There is proof. The cheesecake was gone. It was literally eaten to the crust. What do you mean?
We've established a firm timeline, and you are still not able.
Just me and you.
You still not
You
been.
told me when you ate it.
When
you
did I say
literally
that?
told me when you
When did I
ate it.
say
You
that?
said when I went upstairs or did something. I don't even remember now. But you told me.
I don't remember either. So it seems like that's like a hold up in the court of law.
It's when you lie about it. It's when you sneak and when you lie about it.
I'm just
that
not
I
confirming
really get pissed off because it's like just like we was telling our son, like the evidence, it don't lie. Like you busted, you caught red-handed, and you still want to
You
lie.
caught me eating the cheesecake?
I caught you by going back, and my cheesecake was half gone. That's catching you.
I thought maybe
it was just me and you.
I just thought maybe you ate more than what you realized.
No.
You sure?
Nigga, I'm not about to do this with you.
Baby, watch your mouth on this here podcast.
I'm about to get mad.
What happened? Did someone steal your food line when you were
I'm
younger?
about to get mad.
Why is it such a trigger for you?
I just like you just said, you don't like people touching your stuff. Like I'm not even
This ain't
touch my
this
stuff.
ain't that serious.
But just don't take anything. Don't make it seem like I'm that insignificant to you that you can just take whatever you want from me without even considering me.
So you're saying it makes you feel small?
Makes me angry.
Makes you feel insignificant. That's an interesting choice
Sure.
of words.
It's like you don't think of me. You didn't even consider me. Like in everything that I do, I consider you. I don't care if it's
This is
like
so deep.
Going to poop,
This is
going to
so-
the grocery store, like whatever it is. I'm thinking like, okay, I can't be in the bathroom too long because somebody else might have to use it. Like everything that I do, I consider somebody
This
else.
is so deep.
And when you just take my stuff, or anybody just takes my stuff without even asking me, like it's like you don't consider me. You don't even care about me, and I don't like that.
Shayla said, "Chill, Brandy."
I'm not gonna chill.
It's so deep. Lauren's back. She
I'm not
came
gonna
back. Hey, we were so worried you wouldn't come back. I promise
Russell
you.
was worried. I was never worried.
I was very worried. I said, "Oh my God!" It was the first time being on a live, and
It was her first time being on live, but it's not her first time listening to the live because she said she's tried to catch us before.
She sees the edited
That's not
audio
edited.
back. The audio is edited. Like just now, that whole part where I'm editing all of that out. It's just gonna seem like a seamless episode. It's gonna be two parts of the live pasted together.
Jay said my phone died. Hey,
Daniel said, "Run the tape back." Thank you. Where's the footage? Where's the evidence?
listen.
Eric Butler says theft.
Do not encourage this behavior.
All right, so we talked about pet peeves. Now let's cross the threshold, just like Brandy did. Brandy has told us something that crosses the threshold of just being something that's a little annoying, something that's like, oh, I can't stand it, to a legitimate boundary. Hers is her cheesecake, her food, anything. Is it
food.
also? Does this also include beverages?
Huh?
Is this beverages too?
Not as much. It can be, but not as much. I don't feel like we don't have that issue either because I just drink water and you don't.
You drink ices,
You don't drink those.
but if I did,
Anyway, what were you saying?
I just want to look. This is what y'all need to know. Before this episode, I had no idea it was this deep. I thought it was a pet peeve. I thought it was just like something she's like, oh,
There's
don't do
no way you didn't know it was this deep.
that. Ain't like we ever fought about it. It wasn't like it was a deep thing.
You were choosing to ignore the fact that I was massively annoyed anytime you ate my food.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
Massive. I've seen you legitimately mad. I've seen you upset.
I'm not gonna get mad over food, but it does.
Nah, you
irritate
on that
me.
episode. Nah, watch the episode back. I said, oh, this is crazy. Like the way you was going in, like, I'm clearly telling you not to.
It does irritate me.
I said
It does.
she's legitimately mad. And
It does irritate me.
and before that episode, I had never seen that. So it caught me a little off guard. I'm like, yo, is this deep?
Yes, for me it is.
Well, now I know. Now I know. So I need y'all to drop in the chat legitimate boundaries you have in relationships. Not just like what's annoying to you, but what's like, okay, this is not necessarily a deal breaker. Because
It's a violation.
It's a violation. It's something that would warrant some serious conversation, would warrant like a real serious, like, hey, look, please don't do that.
In the beginning of the episode, I tried to talk about more serious things that I think are boundaries for me. And like I said, taking an issue that we have outside just to like vent about it before we've solved it, to me, that's like something that's off limits. Like I would never allow you to do that. And I remember when we went into marriage counseling, and now this was a wrong place to do it because we are supposed to go there and talk about stuff that we can't talk about with each other yet. But like before we did marriage counseling, I strictly told Russell, don't you go in there and say nothing that you ain't never said to me before. Like I gave him a strict warning because I don't like to be caught off guard in public. I don't like to be caught off guard with other people. And I'm feeling like, oh, this is an issue and you ain't even tell me like that. the episode before last, when you were like, you felt like you don't have space to feel your feelings. Like, of course, I wasn't gonna go off in the episode, but I felt so caught off guard when I asked you, like, so what you're saying to me is you feel like you don't have space to be upset, and you were like, yes. I was like, that you've never said that to me before, and this is the platform in which you choose to say that. I was like, okay, all right. I feel like it really is something that you feel, so you can have that. But I was so caught off guard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
this is the first time you told me that.
I got a good game face
on the episode.
I just feel like it wasn't in me being caught off guard wasn't as important as you getting out what you truly felt.
Okay.
Like, so I wasn't gonna try to combat that. Like, how could you say that? I wasn't gonna step on your moment.
Okay.
But definitely caught me off guard, and I don't like that either. I feel like that's like, it's not necessarily a boundary. Maybe it's just like, yeah, don't do that. Maybe that's what a boundary is. I don't know, but
oh, okay.
It's kind of like what you were saying about being in public and you don't want me tapping you when the pastor says something. Like, I don't want the first time I'm hearing that you have a legitimate issue with me to be in front of an audience.
Oh, okay. Like the cheesecake.
What cheesecake?
That I ate.
That how what?
I'm just.
How was that similar?
I'm just talking.
Okay, thank you. Danielle said no on the episode. I think you did. You did, Rush. You did.
What?
He said that he ate it.
Hey, yo, Danielle, get out our business. No snitching.
Shayla
dang.
said, when I need time to myself, I mean that. That's good. I don't even ask for that. I don't think either one of us really asked for that. Maybe we should get better at that, like asking for time to ourselves.
We just don't have that.
Have what? Space to ask for that? Or
I think we have
don't?
legitimate times in the day where we get that, but it's like rare throughout our day where we can be like, yo, I need time to myself.
Yeah, I don't know. And
Too
I
many
feel like,
people,
this gonna sound corny, but I feel like the time before when I was like overstimulated and I say I need time to myself, like now you help me through that. So I don't necessarily need that time to myself.
And
anymore.
we have ways we create that. Like your bath time is usually like,
for sure.
I'm going in here. I'm gonna be by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We find ways to kind of create that.
Jay said his phone died. Sorry.
John said, I definitely airing out the laundry in the public before speaking about it privately. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's just I just think that's a relationship violation right there.
Then you double down on me saying on it, you know what? It be your own people. That's what I'm learning. It be your own people.
You did say that though. Anyways, go ahead. What's yours?
Man, like I said on the episode, I don't have a lot of boundaries in relationships. Well, I do, but in the relationships, I just don't think I have a lot of them. I thought about this after the episode quite a bit, actually. Yeah, I don't think I have a lot of boundaries with the people I'm with, and I don't think it's the same as like
what people you with
in my life. The people I've been in relationships with.
Oh, you said with the people you with, like you with multiple people.
I've been in my lifetime.
I'm talking about currently.
How about you take a seat back and relax? How about
just need you to clarify for the people.
How about you just relax?
Well, you not with no people.
I just clarified.
A person.
I just clarified. I'm talking about in my lifetime.
Okay.
I just don't put up a lot of boundaries there. That's usually when I'm with somebody that I've known for quite a bit of time, and there's a level of comfort. So if I'm in a relationship with you, I don't have a lot of boundaries.
I feel like, can I just say one that you told me before, like when we were courting or dating?
Yeah.
I feel like before you had a boundary with your kids. Like you said, you didn't like when people like spoke on your kids that you were in a relationship with, like tried to give you advice or things like that.
Well,
because I still feel like that's kind of the case a little bit.
I've backed off that a little bit.
Okay.
And I think that was like a little bit of like a pride thing. Like back when I was in a season where like, if you don't know this road, don't talk to me about it. Like if you ain't got no kids, don't talk to me about how to raise no kids. Like don't be like, I don't think you should handle like that. But I've also backed off of that. Like wisdom can be found in a lot of places, and I don't think you always have to like necessarily have a shared experience to have something to say about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's back on me and it's frozen and it's turned off and I just don't know. So
Lauren says, when arguing, we have a safe word that requires us to stop and come back to it once we're calmer. That's good. That's really good.
A safe. We used to do that. We don't do that anymore.
What was our safe word?
We used to, well, not a safe word when we're in the situation. It was more of before we started it. Like, put your seatbelt on. And then we say, what was the other one? We used to ask a question before.
Are you open?
Are you open? Yeah. And then that way we could just talk about not anything, but we could really get into it if we needed to.
Facts. I'm trying to think. I don't do well with, I don't know if this is a boundary as much as it's like just a something I don't like.
But
I genuinely don't like I don't know what's the word. It's not rudeness. I don't like aggression. Like my thing is, if you're upset, I don't ever feel like it should get to a place where you can't talk to me in a respectful way.
I don't know. Tell me what you mean by that. Like you don't like somebody being upset?
I don't like being disrespected.
Oh, of course.
And I feel like when anger gets to a point, or you let it get to a point where you fail to be able to talk to me respectfully, that's when I feel like a boundary is being crossed.
Oh, I can totally accept and understand that. Don't come at me calling me names. Don't point your finger in my face.
Yeah, even with like tone and volume, like
screaming at each other.
Not even that. Like just even like in a not sarcastic, but like don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. like that right there, it make me want to get cat. It made me want to like.
I might be guilty of that.
Not maybe. You definitely are. You definitely are.
I definitely might be guilty of, just being a little. What's the word? Sarcastic.
Definitely are. Definitely. Yeah. So I just feel like if it's getting to the point where we're that upset, let's like talk about it before we get to the point where we feel like we got to start doing those like verbal weapons. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I remember at our church Christmas party, we kind of had something like that where I was upset about something. And I was trying to like call your attention to it, but I wasn't trying to call your attention to it. Let me say, I was trying to fight through it. Like I was upset, but I was trying to fight through it. I just turned it off. I was trying to fight through it, and I don't think I was doing a great job of fighting through it. So when I called your name to like say something to you, you thought I was screaming at you. And we had like this really tense moment. And then like for the rest of the night, it was just like, okay, are we going to address this? Because I think I felt like you reacted aggressively. You felt like I was screaming at you. And it was just like, we had never crossed that road before in our relationship.
Absolutely. Where
things had got heightened past like a reasonable discussion.
100%.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with that either. Legitimately did not know what to do with that.
It was very tense, but we worked through it. So you did good. You played it good.
I want to go to that. What are verbal boundaries? Like what are things when discussing or having tough conversations that take it to a level that make it hard to talk anymore? Like, of course, we know yelling, screaming, but specifically for you, like what are your things when you're trying to have the difficult conversation that trigger you? What's yours, babe?
When I'm trying to have a difficult conversation, the things that trigger me, I think if someone just is like, if you just tell me I'm not talking about it, like that really bothers me. If you just go make the decision for all of us that you're not having the conversation right now when I want to have the conversation, that's a problem for me. So just being like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it, or I'm talking to you and you're not responding. You're sitting there, you hear me, but you're just not engaging with me. That's a big problem for me. I don't like that either.
Now, what if they truly just assess like it's not a good time to talk?
Well, then tell me that. Like if it's like you're heated and you don't want to engage in a verbal altercation, then tell me that. Like I need a few minutes before I talk about it. But I think what I've seen it in and what's bothered me the most when it's just somebody that's like either caught in something and they just refuse to talk about it, or you wrong and you're just not going to let me, like, you're not going to go back and forth with me, and not even in a aggressive way, but just like in a reasonable manner. Like, nah, you owe me an explanation for this, and you like, I need you to say something, and you just have made up in your mind that you're not going to say nothing to me. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. We waiting for Russell to come back. Shayla said, we can still hear you. Thank you. Lauren says, when I say I don't feel like talking at that moment, don't try to talk to me before I'm fully ready, because my mouth will be lethal if push, child. Now I can respect that too, because like I said, for me, it's just the refusal not to talk to me. But if you talk and you assess that this is just not a good time, like I'm going to get verbally abusive or whatever with my conversation, and so I'm not going to say nothing, yeah, then cool. Take your time. Take your 10 minutes or whatever you need, because I'd rather that than us just sit there and scream and yell at each other. Kiana says, tone of voice and feeling like my emotions or feelings are not heard. And Devin says, someone who is cynical. I definitely can relate to the tone of voice. I feel like sometimes, and I've had this conversation with Russell, so it's not the first time he'll hear this, but when we talk, sometimes it's kind of like a duh, like when he's talking to me, and I don't like that. Like, I'm not stupid. Don't talk to me like that.
I feel like whenever I make a good point, you don't like that.
No, that's not true at all.
I make a point, you be like, you know what? I'm gonna shut this down because I'm starting to feel like
what?
You're not. I feel like you're undermining my. What I'm
Never. I don't agree with that assessment at all.
Our last one, I was cooking, y'all. I had her up on the rope. She was
what
like,
was our last? What was our last situation?
Said, you know what?
Please remind me.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna do that.
We'll talk about it. Is not true.
We'll talk about it after.
That is not true at all.
Are we back?
We back. Come on.
Let me go see what this is now.
What else? What else for you?
For me, so as a child of a like traditional like aggressive, this is
just talk.
I'm trying my hardest to push through. As a child of like a traditional like aggressive black mom, I don't want to be mommed. Like, and whenever I feel like the tone starts feeling like you think I'm your child or something, it makes me want to like, do the most.
Do the most. It's the Zoom, so it's okay. I don't know. I have a problem with that outside of relationships. Like other men that I don't necessarily know or have a close relationship with, when it's a man that is talking to me in a like condescending way, I get really upset about that. It's never happened in relationships. It's like when people say, like, there was a man one time at a grocery store who was like trying to school me on something that I was very clearly knowledgeable about. Like I was trying to find the right, but like, well, Lord, let me see what you have to do. It's like, bro, chill out. First of all, I didn't ask for your opinion. Second of all, I'm not an idiot. I'm very well educated. I don't like that. Like that will get me to another level.
This is why one of the things I was really happy about that I never really thought to talk about or like was very knowledgeable how it played into my present was like home of origin, the context that you were raised in and the realities that you lived through and how they play in effect. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how emotionally intelligent you think you are. The rapport with the opposite gender that raised you plays a role in how you interact with that in a relational aspect. Like the dynamic you have with your mom will bleed into the dynamic you have with your wife. I know a lot of people don't want to
like good or bad.
Good or bad. And a lot of people, especially people who have tumultuous past with their opposite parent, like if it wasn't good with Mom Dukes, if it wasn't good with Pops, if maybe one of them was absent, there's a sense of pride of, I don't care. That don't bother me. I don't need them. I never needed them. And the reality that even in their absence, there's still some residue there is not something a lot of people want to wrestle with. But it's something that I'm so glad that we dove into in our like premarital counseling, because it's not going to be like, dang it. there was stuff, and this was one of the blessings of doing premarital counseling with the family. Like, I was kind of leery about that, and my sister was a part of our premarital counseling because at the time my brother-in-law was my pastor. So when we did our premarital counseling, there was something she pointed out about growing up, and I was like, oh snap. I was like, yo, that's real. And it just opened up this viewpoint. Like, I've always had this.
Share what it is.
Sure, it's not a big deal. So like, my mom is not the emotional woman, right? So her context was, she comes from a long lineage of matriarchy. Like, my grandmother is the pivotal figure on my mother's side of the family. Her father passed away. She had another husband that passed away. So on that side of the family, there's been kind of like a inconsistency with the male figure. And through it all, you've had this strong black woman who has held it down. I mean, generations upon generations are at her doorstep like, Granny, I need you. Mm-hmm. And Granny gonna find a way to make it happen. And my mother has fully adopted that. Like, even here in the city, they know her as Mama Davis. Growing up in church, I don't even know how she got the nickname, but it's like, oh, I know Mama Davis. Like, she everybody mama. So with that being said, it's certain things that are kind of foreign to her. She was not the one that's gonna hug on me and kiss on me and who's mama's baby. Like, that was not her. Like, she was the boy, suck it up, get up. You know, very nurturing. Like, if I was sick, she was definitely the one whose head I was lap I was laying on. Like, she still was a mom, but in terms of emotional needs, when it came to affection, she was not that. I've only seen my mother cry one time in my life. One time. And that's saying a lot. And so in my adult relationships, I think just naturally, that's my, what do you call it? Love language, right? Like, I express love through touch. And I've always ended up in these relationships with women who are not emotionally needy. And I'm right back in that place of hug me, kiss me, love me, show me affection, right? And it's the dynamic I've wrestled with my whole life. And my sister helped me see that. Like, well, Russell, you know, that's kind of like your dynamic with mom. And I was like, yo, that's why this is in my mind. I'm like, yo, women just aren't affectionate, but it was just the ones I was choosing. And I guess I was just, subconsciously, attracted to the traits that I saw, in my mom. So you can't escape that. And just, similar to kind of like what you were talking about, like where it comes to like receiving any type of like direction or stuff like that,
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see how the absence of my father in my life just made me not able to really receive the male voice. So when it comes to feeling like I'm being corrected by a man or I'm being parented by a man, it just feels really foreign to me. And I feel like, hi, you don't really know what's best. And so there was never a space created. My grandfather was the man in my life, and he was very affirming to me. Like, I could do no wrong in his eyes. I don't ever remember a time where he like corrected me at all. Not that I didn't need it, but he just never did it. So then for somebody now to come in and be like, hey, you should or you need to, it's like, first of all, don't tell me what I need to do, because you don't know what I need to do. Like, that's my initial gut reaction. And now, even though I have a better relationship with my dad, I don't even think I have the space to receive that from him. It's just, it was so foreign to me to have like a man provide direction that it definitely needed it took some adjusting. I'm still adjusting.
I was about to say, how's that like bled into our
I'm still adjusting. I think I'm better at just hearing what you have to say. And I know that I don't have to do it. I think before it just felt like you were just telling me what to do. versus just giving me constructive feedback that I can implement into my life. It was like a directive, like you need to X, Y, and Z. I'm still not good at receiving that type of direction, but just now knowing that, number one, I know you're not going to tell me nothing that's detrimental. And if you feel like it's best, then I can at least consider it. So that's where I land now. I'm still not like, oh, baby, tell me, help me fix my life. And I think very much, just as much as I'm a fixer, I think you are too. And so I'm not 100% on board with accepting that, but now I can see how it's beneficial instead of just turning it down.
How would you handle if I just was like dead set on a direction and I communicated it like, baby, I heard a word from the Lord.
We need to move to Texas. Let's go.
I heard a word from the Lord. And this is what we need to do.
Yeah, I can't answer that.
You don't know how you handle it?
I don't. I can't answer that.
You have to pray about it?
Yeah, I definitely would have to pray about it. I have to seek his face. And he has to confirm that for me too. And then I'd be 100% on board. But if it's something drastic that's going to change, the direction in which our family has been moving, like, so if it was moving out of state, moving out of the country, quitting your job, like, yeah, I'm going to have to pray. I'm just not going to be like, okay, baby, whatever you want to do. No, I need a plan. And I think you said this before, but you've seen that when you lay out a plan for me, I can follow a plan. But just a lofty idea.
But God don't always operate like that.
Well, you need to make the plan. If he give you the vision, make the plan.
He don't always do that. Sometimes he say, hey, what did he say to Abraham? Go to a place that I'll show you. He said, start moving and I'll reveal it later.
Well, he gonna reveal it to me too.
He not. He don't always go like that. He
ain't gonna tell you by yourself.
It don't always go like that.
I don't know. I can't give you an answer. I don't know what you want me to say.
She's having visceral responses. It's freaking out.
I'm not freaking out, but I'm just like, I literally, if it's something major like that, if you said the Lord told you you need to get a new car, okay, we're going to talk about that. Like, if you said the Lord said we need to have another baby, we're going to talk about that. If you, like, it's not, I can't think of anything that you would be so dead set on that you don't even want to hear from me. And if you say, this is what I know. And
so hearing from you versus still being like, so
we are going down such a rabbit hole.
This is helpful.
Did the Lord tell you something?
This is helpful because there's a lot of people in relationships who come to a hard pass. And this is more specific to, not so much, but like especially in the Christian space where you'll have one person who is so dead set that they have a divine direction and it causes a rift because the other person's like, I don't see it. And it's important to talk about it, at least to like tiptoe on it, because it's a real life thing that people navigate. I ain't saying I got that, but honestly, it's hard to wrestle with the, okay, I know what you say about this, but actually making that reality is crazy. Like, that's hard to wrestle with, right? So you say, oh, yeah, you could talk to him. Like, oh, yeah, girl, like, it's easy to submit to him, girl, because I know yeah. Okay, but then when he's like, okay, as head of the household, if you reference me like that, this is where I'm leading us to. It's easy to do that until something you don't agree with. Then it's like, okay, what is it now? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing to wrestle with. And I'm not up here talking about like I got the answers, but sheesh, that's a rough one.
I think that, but I also think that goes both ways. And I think sometimes it's only looked at from a man's perspective, like, okay, the Lord has told the man something, but I don't know. I have a hard time feeling like that guy would not at least show me or give me peace in that. He might not say the exact same thing. He might not confirm it in that way, but he will at least, I believe, give me peace in that. Like, I don't think the Lord's going to tell you something that's going to cause an upheaval in our family. And I think that if God was to speak to me and say, hey, quit your job and go into consulting full time.
You think God would just give you peace with that? If it's right, you'll have peace.
I think that if I prayed about it and I had peace on it, I wasn't like, okay, we can make this work. I don't know. I can't answer it, but I do believe that there would be some form of peace there. I do.
You don't think the space was like, man, look, I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it scared. I trust you, Lord. Like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
That might not be peace. That might be like fear.
But there's still peace in that. There's still like when you trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on to your own understanding.
We talking about trusting in your husband.
There's still no. I see. That's not it. I'm not trusting in the husband. If you say that is from the Lord, then I'm trusting in the Lord that He's giving you. You're
trusting that your husband is hearing from the Lord.
And when I pray about it, I should have peace. I should have some form of confirmation that is what the Lord is saying. So Lauren back a little while said, I absolutely hate for men that I don't know to refer to me as girl. That fake trying to be relatable mess does something to me. Like, sir, we are not friends. I don't like.
You mean like a zesty, like girl?
No, he's talking about like a man calling you girl.
No, she said trying to relate. Like, sir, we are not friends like that. Like, so that makes me feel like it's like a girl. You know, I like almost like that's like a friend girl. Like, you trying to relate to me? Like, so
because I don't like it when they call me honey, sweetie, girl, sweetheart. None of that. I'm not your sweetheart. Like, no. One for me is not knowing if a person is wanting to just vent or if they're looking for answers. I'm resolution minded, but that sometimes turns into a bigger problem with that person. Let me know either way. I get that 100%. I am for sure just like that. And I think that's when we talked about Russell when he said he doesn't have space to just be upset. It stems from that. Well, let's find the answer. Let's not sit in it.
Robinson said, did the Lord tell you something?
He heard me say that because I'm trying to figure out. You dead set on this. Did he tell you something? What do I need to be praying about?
But hold on. So be honest, we know people that's in that space. And I know multiple people that's been like, man, fam, like, bro, and it might be moving somewhere. It might be taking a job. I know a homie who said God told him to start a church, pastor, and his wife was like, because I'm not no first lady. Like, that's a thing people deal with, right? So it's worth talking about.
But I mean, we can talk about it all day long, but I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer, and I don't have an answer right now. I think it really depends on what that thing is. It really does.
I think there's a right answer. I could be wrong, but I feel like if you know your husband, if you truly believe, like, okay, I see him pursuing God, I see him in active relationship, like I see him praying, I see him reading his word. Like, if you see those things, if you see him fasting, you see him with spiritual discipline, then I think waiting for a sign, you know what I mean? Like, you don't always know which way it's going to go. Like, leadership is leadership. And, you know, sometimes the body isn't privy to certain things that the head is privy to. That's just reality. Like, I'm a part of a church. I'm not everything the pastor say. I don't always be like, dang, God didn't tell me that. You know, if it's something the pastor say, hey, look, God told us we're going to start doing outreach. I wouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? I would just trust that if I'm with like a pastor who I trust, is like, okay, if that's how God's leading you, then you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this is where the context comes into play. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we have to say, okay, like, okay, if I have peace, is that coming from God, or is that because I have trust in that my husband or whoever, even my wife, like, we talked about this too, like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was somebody was close to us. I don't know. Either somebody close to us or we were watching something. But he was like, man, I know if my wife tells me something, or if it's somebody in my circle and my wife is like, not that one right there, like, I know to trust that. Like, I trust her vision in this. Like, because I know this is an area that God deals with her. Like, it's not a one-way thing. Like, whether we're talking about a man taking leadership role, or we're talking about the intuition of a woman and like really helping her man, like, either way it goes, it requires some trust in the person you're with. You know what I mean? And when we talk about trust, I think we always go into the thing of like, are you going to cheat on me? But trust is way bigger than just, can I trust you to come home at night? Sometimes trust is, do I trust your counsel? Do I trust like what you say to me, even when it don't feel good? And it's like, you're saying it because you truly believe it's for the good. That was something I had to learn. I get so defensive. And my first trigger is like, okay, I got to defend it. But I think for me, as I'm like learning, it's like, okay, before I even go into what you're saying to me, let me just hone in on who you are. I know you. I know your character. I know you mean good to me. So even if it's hard for me to hear, let me just consider what you're saying. Like, that's been helpful to me.
I mean, I've seen that change. I've seen you working on that, trying to be better at receiving. And I do agree that, you know, if someone feels strongly about something in a relationship, especially my husband, and it's just time to follow, it's just time. But yeah, I also don't think it's wrong to say, yeah, I would feel trepidatious about that. I would feel worried. I would want a plan.
That's honest.
So in any given situation, I think it would depend on what it was, but that I would like to see that if this doesn't work out, you have a plan. How we're going to get to the end goal, you have a plan. If God has given you a vision, okay, what is your earthly plan to get us there? I need that to feel safe. Not saying that I still wouldn't follow you, but it would feel risky to me to do something and not at least have a plan for how we're going to sustain it.
No wrong with that at all. That's honest. Lauren says, when my ex used to say the Lord told me, I would always respond with, he ain't tell me that. That's how I knew I didn't really need to be with him, because I wouldn't follow him anywhere.
Look, not following you to bed. I'm not following you to the grocery store. Don't tell me what the Lord said. Red flag.
That's real. Jonathan Duck says, that's where equally yoked comes into play. Submitting to the leader that follows God is true faith. Facts.
Absolutely.
Lauren says, yeah, like I'm his homegirl. Forget the terms of endearment with me. You talking about the girl. The girl.
Yeah.
First of all, are these like, I don't know. Do I do that? I was about to say, are these like more feminine guys? Is it like a girl? Like, what? Are they just like, what is the tone of the girl? I'm trying to picture.
How you gonna hear her tone in this?
I'm trying to picture it.
Jonathan said, faith without works is dead. The man has to show signs that he's listened to God before, and the woman has witnessed these things. That's so good. And that's true. I think it's a pattern. Like, you asked me, I don't know, it was a few weeks ago. You said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust me? And when I gave you my answer, you were kind of like, well, that's weird. But
what was it again?
I said 8. And you said, and I said to you what you just repeated here, which is there are different levels to trust. Like, do I trust that you won't go? Sure. Do I trust that you not gonna leave me out in the cold by myself without no food? You know, yeah, I do that. But there are certain things that I still need to see. Like, I have to see this in order to know that I can fully trust that. And I'm still waiting to see those things.
I feel you. About a 7.5.
What? That's how you feel towards me? I'm not mad at that. Like,
6,
that's your number.
4, 3, 2.
I fully trust the way you can trust. No, I'm dependable. I'm a rock. So if it's still more you need to see, sure, I'm down to show you.
I'll just wait. 8 is fair, and I would say I'm probably about an 8 too. Right about an 8 too.
Yeah, I just think that leadership is not just inherent. Like, good leaders know when to listen. Like, I feel like if you just a leader who's just so focused on what you know and what you want to do, that's dictatorship. That's not leadership, and it's not healthy. It's like toxic leadership. Like,
I think that's the problem with a lot of people's idea of submission right now. Like, anytime I'm listening to relationship podcasts, and because we're in a space that's like, I listen a lot, but as soon as I hear a guy talk about submission in a way that is so unfruitful, it's immediate, like, nah. Like, it's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, this is the whole misnomer. Number one, you're not even a Christian. So that the concept of submission doesn't even apply to you. Everything where people get that concept from is from Bible. It's religion. So, like, if you're not even where are you getting your basis from? Just because you have a penis between your legs?
It sounds good.
What are we submit? What is she submitting to? Like, that it makes no sense. That's number one. And number two, it's also like when they start speaking about it, like you just said, like a dictatorship. Like, that's not leadership. I had we had a clip that we did, a reel we were just playing, and someone under the comments, I erased the comment because I was irritated about it, but he said a woman knows how to follow, or a woman essentially was like, a woman wouldn't even question, a woman just follows. And I said, my exact reply was, before I erased it, was real leaders know how to listen. Like, you can't even lead until you know how to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, until you know how to follow, you can't lead.
Yeah.
And I just hate to see the whole concept of submission right now is such a far stretch of measure. Even talking about it now, someone's listening right now and they're cringing. Like, I don't care what, no, because it's been so abused.
Absolutely.
It's been so abused. And I just hate that that's a hurdle that people have to cross. I grew up around safe men. Like, that's what I've been surrounded by, at least from my viewpoint as a kid. I don't know what's going on in the house.
Yeah.
But I've never seen tension around this concept. You know what I'm saying? More so was just in my own home. Because like I said, my mama was a woman. She like, so that's probably what was the most tension I saw around the concept. But, you know, when I looked at other homes, I was like, man, like, this is just what it's supposed to be. Like, it's not supposed to be this foreign concept. It's not supposed to be harsh. It's not supposed to be thought of as like something even contentious. Like,
yeah, my current boss at work she's an amazing leader. And what makes her amazing is she knows how to utilize her team. Like, she realizes, like, I'm just not strong in this area, so don't ask me. Go ask Brandy or go ask Berta. Like, she knows when to tap into her team, and she doesn't even pretend to know that she doesn't even pretend to act like she knows everything. Like, she will readily admit, I don't know that. Let me go ask X, Y, and Z. And I think that particular aspect is something that I rarely see, at least in corporate America, in leaders, and like something that I believe translates well into leading a family. Just like knowing what your strengths are and really playing up your strengths, but then leaning on your partner and their strengths. Like, yeah, this is just not my area of expertise. So I know enough to know that I need to consult my help on this. But the kids come to me and somebody's making them feel something at school that is playing on their emotions, I'm gonna tell them to fight them. But I know he's gonna have the reasonable answer that says, like, no, an emotionally intelligent person would do this. So I'm not even gonna even pretend to like know that I have the right answer for my kids. I'm gonna say, let's talk to Russell about it. Go talk to Russell. Have you considered, you know, telling him what's going on? Because I know that that's like your area of expertise, conflict, navigation, resolution. Like, you shine in that area. Me, I'm just going to fight people. Like, and I think that in a household, and when you're talking about submission, just really using your partner as a resource and not just throwing things at them, but what do you think about this? This is your area of expertise. Like, I'm really leaning on you to help us get to this point. I think having a vision is great, but like having the strength to know how to execute it and when to tap into your resources is amazing. And if I see that, yeah, let's go wherever you want to go. Cause I know you got me. And I know that if it all falls apart, like, you're going to be there to help me pick it up. So I would be more apt to follow if I, like I said before, if I saw a plan and I knew that you weren't just leaning on yourself to get it done, that you need me to help carry this out.
For sure. Lauren says, yeah, I didn't know at the time, but I didn't fully trust his leadership. I have the knowledge to know that he was only a lesson. The man I'm with now, though, there's some sauce on that.
The now, though.
The man I'm with now, though, the man with the plan, and I know he's actually hearing the Lord and not just his ego. Yeah. And no, Russell, masculine men that think we're comfortable. Our friends are cool, but a new male in my midst that's not my man don't need to be that cool with me. I feel you. Yo, I'm so weird about that. I realized this when we was in Barbados. I was looking at all the pictures, and we have an artist who's on the same management with me that was also on a trip. And immediately, like, when we started kicking, we're like, oh, they are mad cool. And I think it was a mutual thing. Yeah. But I noticed when we were taking pictures, I just would not touch her. Like, I'm like if she was here and there was somebody else on the other side, I'd be like this to like not touch her. Like, I'm so weird about like creating a level of. I'm so weird about creating a level of comfort that I think I make it weird. I think I make it weird. The pictures with B. Simone, like when we did the awards, the pictures are so awkward because I'm just like, I won't touch you. Like I'm like, hey babe.
I just think that's respectful. Or if you're especially if you haven't asked and you don't have that type of rapport with them, like, is it okay for me to put my hand here? How would you like me to pose? Like, if you if you don't know that, then I think it's horrible to assume that you can just put your hands anywhere on a woman. Like, I would be so uncomfortable if I look back on that picture and your hand was around her waist. You don't know this lady.
Is there an acceptable, just gray area of like picture taking? Like if you're taking
shoulders are cool. Like
I was avoiding all kinds.
Put your hands right here in front of you like this. Why do you gotta touch it?
Everybody was doing this, and her hand was on like my back, so I was like.
I mean, I think it's some people you just don't have to worry about it with, and there are definitely some of those people, but I think it's safe just to go for a shoulder.
I think men gotta be. I'd be so overly like concerned about interacting, especially like new women. New women, I'd be like, all right, let me be overly.
What do you mean, new women in your circle?
Yeah, like if it's a girl I don't know that well, I'm overly cautious about how I interact, especially in the music space. There are such, I don't know what it is about music, but it attracts such creeps, weirdos. And I first discovered it because I work with a lot of men, but the first artist I ever like took under my wing was Taylor. Young, pretty girl. She's a freshman in college. And I'm thinking because she's young, and at the time, most of the dudes I was working with were like, you know, like upper 20, we're like 26, 27, 28, 29. She's all of, what are you, a freshman? Like 18. And she looked and acted like a little kid. You know Taylor, like her voice is mad. So I'm like taking her places, and men were disgusting. I felt like my whole career was like writing songs and warding off creeps. And I was like, yo, I cannot be one of these guys. Like, I cannot be. So I'm overly cautious. And I think like the tone in certain industries, not even industries, just in the world. Like when I became a dad, I'm like, yo, I never went somewhere and had to worry about being alone. I never went to a party and been like, yo, I can't go to a party by myself because, you know, I don't know if something's going to happen to me. It's just like, no, I'll meet y'all there. I don't even think about it. But now I'll be like, yo, I got a daughter. When she go to college, I got to be like, hey, look, watch where you put your cup at.
Before she go to college.
Before she go to college, like watch where you put your cup down at. Never leave it unattended. Always have your friends with you. Turn your Find My on. Make sure they all know your location. Like stuff dudes don't even think about.
Yeah. I'm going to read some comments and then I'm going to respond. Lauren says, I'm not missing another Thursday. I love it here. Oh, thank you. We love having you.
Even with all the technical difficulties?
It's usually much smoother than this, I promise. Jonathan says, Jesus followed John the Baptist for weeks and listened to him speak before he spoke himself. Definitely have to learn to follow before leading. Come on, that's so good. That's so good. Kendra says, just got here, but love the conversation. Talk about it. I did see something from Shayla too. She said something about speaking facts and something, but I don't know where the comment is because I can't scroll. So
Chastity says, Brandy, I love what you said. How Russell's good with conflict and you are the more emotional person / fight person. Thanks for sharing that. Devin is a fair person and is so good talking through conflict.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a relationship that balances. This is my first relationship that we actually balance each other out in that way. And he is doing a great job of showing me the other side of that. So I think I'm more leaning towards I'm trying to resolve conflict in a more amicable way than just fighting it out. But it's definitely a good balance. But there's sometimes when we got to knuck if you buck, and I need him to roll with me too. And I'm trying to get him to that side because he'd be like, baby, don't make me have to. It's been a couple of situations where we done almost had to get into it, and he be trying to talk me off the ledge. And I'm like, no, you need to get on the ledge.
I want to go on record saying
get here on the ledge with me.
I want to be clear. In my point of view, there has not been one situation that has caused for no knucking or bucking.
I can think of one quickly off the top of my head. At that football game, You should have been. We didn't have to fight.
Thank you.
But
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't have to get to that point. But you should have at least been at that level and been ready to go if we needed to go. Because that lady jumped into that on that field and was shaking them kids' hands, and she smacked the little boy hands like a grown woman. They doing the little, what's the little good game, and she smacked the mess out of this little boy.
This is overly.
And I said, if she get to my son,
Y'all.
and she smack his hand like that, it's going down. Where it's like, baby, grabbing me and stuff. I'm trying to get on the field and he grabbing me. I'm trying to protect our son.
He was in no danger.
You don't know that.
I did know that. You were overly emotional. You're overly emotional about your son. So this lady on the field made you feel overly. From a calm person perspective, there was no danger.
Sharp, meme?
There was no danger present. I am almost 40. If I'm about to fight, it's got to be like a risk to my life. I'm not fighting you because I'm emotional.
I wasn't emotional. I was trying to make sure she did not smack his hand. If she didn't smack his hand, we was all golden. It would have been no issues. But I at least needed to be close enough on the field that if she smacked his hand, I was in close enough range to smack her. And you was trying to hold me back from that. And I ain't like that. Like, I'm seeing your side too, but you got to also see my side. Sometimes we got to go there.
There has not been one situation that has caused for this. And I know the way you tell the story makes you feel like it was that dramatic.
It was.
It was not. It was a little league football game.
You saw how them parents was acting. That game was turned
and I refused to be one of them. These crazy parents. You was one of them.
I was not.
You were about to be. If I had not held you back.
See, no.
If I wasn't there, you would have been on the field.
The only reason I was about to be one is if she would have smacked his hand. If she didn't smack his hand, I didn't have to be one.
Little League football, Wendy's staff meeting. These are literal situations I have had to hold her back.
You did not hold me back at Wendy's.
Did you not get out the car?
Yeah, but you didn't hold me back. I was calm. I was just watching.
I was verbally saying, baby, get in the car. Baby, get in the car,
when
baby.
When it comes to my kids, I don't play.
But there's no danger. Look, all she saw.
I don't play.
Look, our oldest had his first job.
Our battery's at 10%.
He's working at Wendy's. They're having a staff meeting. Everybody's watching this man talk. The man is talking with his hands. He's talking with his hands. She go, what he talking about? Why he look like he waving his hands? I said, baby, it look like they having a meeting. Everybody's standing around. She go, nah, he looked like he yelling. Gets out the car. I can't even properly do this from a seating position, but they're inside Wendy's. She's looking in the window like this. Hand on hip, like, I said, baby, get in the car.
I don't see a problem.
She gets in the car. He said, what was happening in there, Michael? What was happening there? What are you talking about, Mom? What was that man talking about? Looked like he was yelling at you. It was a meeting. Oh, I thought he was yelling. All in your head. You were about to have a physical altercation.
I wasn't.
You were about to go up to that window.
Outside. How was I going to have a physical altercation?
You were about to go up to that window. Excuse me. No. Who you yelling at? All in your head.
All I know is
your son about to get assaulted.
This mean we got a problem. You doing all this in my face?
Your son about to get assaulted at a little league game. All in your head.
I'm just saying, be ready. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
I'm gonna have to be ready for you.
You don't be ready. The problem.
There's nothing.
You don't be ready. I'm trained to go. Like
you gonna be going by yourself.
If it's gonna jump off, I'm ready. Russell be like, I was still trying to talk. I'll
be ready with the bail money.
With him.
I'll be ready with the bail money because somebody gonna have to take care of the family while you going to jail for fighting at a little league football game.
I wasn't about to fight if she didn't put her hands on him. We was gonna be fine.
I was gonna be fine.
But you don't know. What if she would have put his hands and we was all the way in the stand? We would have never caught her.
If she, what do you think she was gonna run?
No, if she was smacking his hand and just kept walking, we had to go all the way down the stands, through the fence, on the field. Like we just needed to be in close proximity if it happened.
Pray for me, because what?
All I'm saying is you just got to be ready. You got to stay
I've lived on this earth for so long with no fights.
You've been in a fight.
In my adult life, I've never been in a fight.
Me either. Well, that's not true. Close.
Thank you.
Almost.
Right.
It's almost not true.
And how many almost fights have you been into?
Lots. But I'm saying it's a lot. I can be in an almost fight every day. I know how to restrain myself until it's time.
What if I told you were the problem?
I might be a little bit. I'm not ashamed to say that. I might be a little bit of the problem.
I ain't
But
gonna
other
be the
people
problem.
is the problem too. Because don't be talking with your hands in my kid face.
He was at a meeting. He was just talking with his hands.
Anyways, Jesse says, I grew up going into conversations, fighting in high emotions. I had to unlearn a couple of things. I'm still working on that. Danielle says, Brandy, listen, I'm calm, but I carry. I like that. I can't handle gun because I'd be way too trigger happy. I'm just saying. Yeah, they laughing at me, but I'm telling y'all, Danielle, Candace, y'all know, you always got to be ready.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. We all grew up on the same block. Y'all know how it is. Anyways, we have 10% left on our battery, so we need to wrap this up.
All right, y'all. Hey, on a serious note, thank y'all so much for making your way through our technical difficulties. We're trying new things. And although the first camera didn't work out, can we all just agree that the picture looked amazing before it went out? I mean, come on.
I'm going to figure out how to make it work.
We're going to do that off
Before
the show.
next Thursday, yes.
Before the show, we're going to figure this thing out. But either way it goes, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. Great episode, great conversation, great engagement. Come back once again if you are listening to us on streaming platforms. The lives is where it's at. Come kick it with the family. What They Never Told Us is not just a podcast, it's a community. And these conversations are best had with you here. So thank you to the What They Never Told Us OGs for being here consistently. Thank you for the newbies. Shout out Lauren. You get a round of applause and air horns.
Happy birthday again, Danielle. Thank
Happy
you for
birthday,
spending
Danielle.
your birthday with us.
Absolutely. And as always, we love.
And y'all should love too.
Peace.